welcome back to Saxlingham. We are just on our way to the store now. My cunning plan is to try and remember where the entrance is. Here it is. We are going to swap the drill. Now, I don't know why I didn't go for it in the first place, but I think possibly one of those things that I'd used it before, but I want to get the horse avatar drill, and then that will sort us to be able to get our wheat in the ground. Now, one assumes, we know what assumption does is, let's just double check us things. Where do we want to be? Here. The other thing I've done, and we'll cover a few other things shortly, is I have, where are you? Upped the food again. Now, we have slept and the cows only ate 10,000-ish litres, so I've upped it. Whether I will regret that or not will soon be seen, but there we go. Drop that there. No, we're still on the tractor. What vehicle has finished? Ah, the cultivating is done. Excellent. So, let's get this sold. We will repair it. There we go. And sell that for 87 grand. Super duper. There we go. Now, what we can do is go back in here, back up to here, turn those off. Super. So you'll have seen that we have been prepping our fields late into the night. The ploughing is not far off done, and then we can move the cultivating over to get that all cultivated. They have been limed as well. So let's just reset that to make sure it's up here. And we want... No, we don't want that. We want here and the horse avatar. So 2,000. Let's go. Let's bump it up. We'll set up. We'll go for wides. Cedar unit. What did that change? Ah. Ooh. I think we'll go... No, we'll leave that. It's not worth it. We do not want a plate. And we are going to, as per, hire purchase. Now, we could afford a 30% deposit, 2 years, monthly cost. Let's go for option 2. Purchase that. Thank you very much. Now, the other thing that I have done is... Where are you? Aha, there you are. I bought another £10,000 worth of cows. I went down with the animal trailer to the pasture, and I was like, oh, we haven't actually got that many in here now. So I bought some really nice, quite, I've gone for over 12-month-old Holsteins. So, yeah, job is a good one there as well. Now, we can get back to the farm. We will get this filled up, and we can get our wheat started to drill. Our sugar beets are ready. But that's not going to be this episode. We need to get things drilled in the ground, done, and boxed away for the year. So I shall move the cultivator to the field on our left, and yeah, I shall see you in, is it 16, the other one? Can't remember. And we'll start some drilling. So we're a little bit further on into the day, as I wanted to wait and use the John Deere. No wrong with that in my mind. So we've got the cloths in field 10. I just remembered it tells me. Good old simple inspector. And yeah, we're cracking on with the first of 3 headlands. Wheat going in, and it's looking glorious from a nitrogen point of view. I have replaced the tyres, refueled the John Deere, keep it in top-notch condition. Doesn't really make much odds, to be fair, but, you know, gotta look after your kit. But we are getting through this. Interesting. Oh, it's corrected itself now. It was lagging with the old textures slightly. But no, we're going great guns. Now, I assume, and I probably should have checked, but let's have a quick shufty. Yeah, direct drill. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Right, let's raise that up a touch. Oh, hello, woodpecker. And drop back down, and I do find it tends to screw the corners up a little bit. It swings a bit too tight. There we go. There we go. I mean, this is an upgrade, so the job is a good one, really. We have got weeds to deal with as well in... Let's just put cruise control on. It was field number 9 and 12, I think. Yeah, 9 and 12. I've remembered to put the tram lines in as well for 10 and 16. I've done that already. So we won't have the same mess up that we had in build 2. But yeah, nice bit of October drilling. And then probably next episode... might need to raise a bit of cash first, so we might have to do a couple of contracts as well in between potentially, so that we've got plenty of money to lease a beet harvester, which yeah, we need the old milk product. In fact, actually, how are we doing for milk? 773 litres in there. So we've got 2,000 litres of milk at the moment. How much wool? 314 litres. That's good. So, you know, we're starting to get those sort of supplementary, almost, they're not byproducts, but, well, products, I suppose, aren't they? Would be the correct term. Now, whether when we get to a point where, I don't know, if we've got, say, 10,000 litres of milk, we put in the auto milk sale. Get that up there, and reverse. Just so that deals with that for us every morning would be probably a decent idea. Get that lowered down. Job is a good one. I think that's probably going to be the way to do it, because we don't want to be having to drive and sell milk, and holding on to it for months on end never really sits right with me. I know it'd be good to hold it all till, you know, the absolute best price, but you wouldn't do that. So yeah, it's a shame you can't with that mod. Oh, it would be good, like set the frequency of it so it just sold every month. I don't know. That would be an interesting one if you could do that. That would be cool. Just, you know, maybe you wouldn't get a tanker in every day. I don't know. I'll have to have a look. I'll have to have a think. I've never properly looked at the mod to see whether you can specify the frequency that the milk is sold at. So, yeah. But to have a mood chat if I get some time. So we just finished the headlands, and I took the opportunity while we were this side of the field to go and refill, because we had hammered through 3/4 of the fur. So yeah, I thought, you know what, let's just go and refill. Now I have no idea what this weather is. It's not raining because the wipers aren't going, and I can't hear it. And it's just, yeah, I don't know. It's a very bizarre one. There's no of moisture. Yeah, like no water droplets on the tractor. Is it meant to be some sort of... I don't know, really. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what it is, but it's just very random. Very random indeed. That lifted up and spun round. There we go. I mean, we seem to be... Yeah, man. There we go. Cracking through this. In slightly slower... Now we're going uphill. Yeah, a little bit. Not horrendous. Not horrendous. We'd better with the old diff locks on and four-wheel drive. Thank you, VCA. But yeah, it's going good. We're going to have to roll it, but that's standard. I did... Now, out of the two fields, I didn't mulch this one, mainly because I forgot. But to the one in front of us, that has been limed, mulched, ploughed, cultivated. So we'll get a little bit of a bonus off that, but nothing to write home about, I don't think. There we go. Right, let's push on, do a bit more. I'll catch up with you shortly. I mentioned in a previous episode about wanting to get some Highland cattle, and just as I was turning at the bottom of the field behind us, I sort of noticed that this gate here and this sort of grass field, for want of a better word, pasture, it's all fenced in, and it is plot 80, which is £107,000. Now, that would lend itself really well to an open pasture, funny enough, or some Highland cattle to go in. So I think that has got to be the sort of next goal, if you like, purchase. We're going to need to raise, well, 107 grand, and some more to buy the cattle. But that gives us something to work to. Now, excuse me. Let's just have a look at the old time-saving stock check. So we've got the canola. We can probably... There's hardly any point selling silage. I mean, we've got 1 million litres and it's only 100,000... 130 grand. So, no point there. So it's going to be the canola that's going to... Oh. There's me thinking I've put cruise control on. So it could be the canola that helps fund that, plus contracts, etc., etc. So, yeah, I like that idea, and I think that'll work really well. I mean, it's a bit hidden away, which is the only downside to it. Maybe we clear a few of the trees out so we can see better. But yeah, I like that idea. I like that a lot. Now, the other thing I need to double check at some point is the sheeps. I think they're all right. Sorry, the phone is ringing. I shall be right back. Well, things aren't just going very well today. So phone rang. I came back, apologised, talked, and then ran out of memory space, disk space, so I had to move. I don't know why I hadn't done it earlier. I've got a system where I keep some of the clips for a while and then archive them, and then that gets cleared out. And I hadn't done it for a while, and yeah, ran out of space. So basically, sorry for the interruption before. We are going to need to raise some cash for not only the Highland cows, but plot 80. So we will do that by contracts and canola selling, OSR selling. Now, the plan was to put this on a worker and then go and do contracts. That's what I said in the clip that has now been banished to the recycle bin. Cool, blimey, words are difficult right now. So I'm going to finish this, and then we will set a worker doing the rolling, and we shall go off and make some money from contracts, I think. I haven't looked recently as to what there is. We may look to borrow equipment, use a bit of different stuff, do a bit, leave a bit, that sort of thing. So that is the plan. Now I'm going to get this done. I shall set a worker rolling, as I've said, like literally about 20 seconds ago, and yeah, we'll appear in somewhere else on the map doing goodness knows what. We are in field 42 doing a corn harvesting contract, and if that's not stating the bleeding obvious, then I don't know what is. But we will get 48 grand, no, 47 and a bit, plus any leftover corn, which is not bad. Now, if there is a fair bit, we could maybe take it to the dryer and make the most of that. Now, seeing that pond in front of me, I after finishing work yesterday in game, I bought myself a fishing rod, and I caught one fish. I sold it for £100, and I put the rod away. Now, I'm not slating. It's just not really my thing, I don't think. I think it's... I don't know. It's one of them, isn't it? It's an interesting and cool feature, and I think maybe with a bit more, I don't know, time and practice, it might be something that I get into doing. But that is my only interaction, other than the bunning trailer, with the DLC so far. And again, not hating, just haven't been round and had a look at the map, or you know, it's everybody's. I say everybody. Lots of people have done started series on it. Mr. CP's doing one. Really enjoying that. Disturbed is doing one, but he's doing like a time-lapsey one back to his sort of roots, I guess you'd call it. And that's great as well. I don't necessarily feel the need to do it or do anything really. I like the kit. I do like the equipment. Talking of equipment, we'll see it shortly. We've got an interesting truck with this contract. It's a Mercedes, and it's one with the Ro-Ro on the back, roll on, roll off container grabber. That's what I call them anyway, Ro-Ros. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting, but different. Nice bit of different kit to see, and a different part of the map. I don't think I've been up to this corner of the map. It's a long old way to the whatchamacallit, delivery point. Goodness knows what's up with me today. But we will manage. Auto drive will be our friend. So we've just gone 80% full, and coming down the field, I thought this was just some buildings and that, but it's actually a really nicely laid out little farm with some goose. How cool is that? It's just this map. It's blooming glorious. Is that a silo up there as well, coming into view? Yeah, so it's just, yeah. Wow. I didn't even know that was up here. That's bad, isn't it? That would be the 510 grand for that. And then is that all part of how do you get to that? You end up owning, what would you have to buy to get that farm? Oh no, it's the animal dealer. Duh. Oh, I like it. Now, are we going to have enough? No. Let's just stop there a second. And we'll utilise the old horseplay trick. There we go. That should do us. Keep going. We'll leave it there because the combine will stop when it's full. Right, so let's have a look at this Mercedes beast. How cool does that look? I like it. Now, I've no idea how much this holds. I'm hoping it's 1 and a bit combines worth. I'm hoping. I don't actually know. But yeah, it kind of looks a little bit rear heavy, but hey, if it works, it's not stupid. There we go. Oh dear. Right, I might need to slow down a touch. But, you know, fortune favours the brave and all that lot. So, the nearly full combine has filled that truck unit. 66%. So what I think I'm going to do is once we've cleared this corner, I'm going to create an auto drive loop into this part of the field, and then we can set that off to come and unload us and deliver it and all that good stuff. So just speed up the process. There we go. Oh, nice. Nice, 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 nice. And, I mean, this will take a while. Let's be honest about that. But we've got, I was going to say we've got stuff going on in the background, which we have. We've got the rolling going on. That's going to take 1 hour and 6 minutes. The cultivation is done. But I want to drill that field myself. So that'll be another job to do. Mustn't forget as well that we've got to afford leasing fees for a beet harvester. Yeah. We're going to be spending a serious amount of cash in the coming episodes, I think. But, yeah. Needs must. So just while we wait for the truck to get back to the full combine, we were 14 or 15% delivered with that load, which is a big old chunk, actually. 30,000 litres, I suppose, though, so should be, it should be expected, I guess. So, yeah, we're doing a cultivating contract in field 34. Check me out. And I've just spotted this bad boy. So this is part of the DLC equipment. So I think we're going to take that as well, which is nice, 14 grand. So between those, so that'd be 35, 47, so 70, 82, and 90, 96 grand. Plus, we might be able to sneak a few more in as well, potentially. We're not gonna overpromise, but yes, we're full. We've got a couple of minutes left for the truck to get back here. I did have to go in and tweak the course around by the farmer's market. For some reason, that truck turns like an absolute barge. I've lowered the cornering speed as well, so hopefully that will assist in its navigation of tight areas. Well, here cometh the truck. how quickly is it going to find us? Oh, don't. There we go. I say don't drive straight into the combine. You know, realism is key, folks. Come on. Hurry up. We got a bit money to be making. Waiting patiently, waiting patiently, waiting patiently. Getting impatient. Oh, oh, oh. Like a dream. It was never in doubt. So it's Friday afternoon here in the UK, and Storm Claudia is in full swing as he looks out the window. It is persisting it down. It's wetter than an otter's pocket out there at the moment. Yeah, so likely to be flooding tomorrow, which will be fun. Yeah, great fun. Shouldn't really moan, I suppose. But why not? That's what we do. Now, I have noticed, and this is going to be very random, the back end of this combine looks like the front of a Vauxhall Astra or an Opel Astra, depending on where you're from. Yeah, I just noticed that a minute ago. I was looking at it and that looks familiar. And yes, it's. I reckon it looks like the back end. No, the front end of an Opel Astra or a Vauxhall Astra. There we go. Right. Pretty pleased with how that's worked out. I'm hoping that the next load we'll be able to not need an intervention, but that's the beauty about Simple Inspector, as you can see. When it's sat at 0 miles an hour, you think, that's not right. So you can have a quick tab over there and intervene. Yeah, we should be good for a fair amount of cash after this. And like I did at the start of this video, now I don't know which song I chose. I was looking on Thursday evening. And the choice, oh, unbelievable. I mean, I've gone in and kind of got most times got a specific idea of a song that I want to use. But I thought, oh, so I went in and, you know, you can choose premium. So this is on Licked. For those that don't know, link in the description below. And I'd set it to YouTube. I'd set it to premium, so it would be a premium track, not just no, it's not so a mainstream song, let's call it that. And I'd set it to rock, and there were so many different ones. Oh, that is the most difficult thing about using Licked, is the fact that there is so much choice. No, it hasn't got everything, but you know, you're spoiled. You really are. Yeah, if you want to use mainstream music, well, check me out. Then yeah, feel free to use code CARTECH. Helps out a lot. And whilst we're at the old the pushing of things, Giants Code. If you're looking to buy the DLC or the game or anything like that, feel free to use code CARTECH. At time of recording, we are about a 2/3 of the way there to being a bronze partner. So it's done off. So when you buy like the game or the DLC or something and use code CARTECH, this applies for any creator that's in the program, you put code CARTECH in, and then it will allocate that amount of money that you've spent, and it deducts it off an amount that you need to reach the next level. So we're 2/3 of the way there, and then I get 5% of that, I think it is. Yeah, because I've gone for the one where I won't play any of the farming games, exclusivity. So I get 5% of that. you know, and it just sits there totaling up. We hit a threshold. Same with Mod Hub and mods. You hit a threshold and then it pays out. You know, it's not a fat lot for me. But the main thing for me would be to get to bronze, because then you get your early accesses and all that good stuff. So yeah, that is the main reason for me. So yeah, any of you want to use the code, feel free. Helps me out more than you know. So just while we were cutting in, I was having a quick look at the animals and take a look at how much this cow is worth. 8,890 quid. That is epic. That is some good genetics, that is. That's epic. I also noticed that we've had a couple of little ones. Need to keep an eye on that bull, because once it's a bit older, we'll get rid. Oh, of course. Saving. There we go. But I think that's about it. Births wise, I mean, these aren't bad either. 3 grand apart, 4. Good old Eclipse. I've got a fast sailor. What a name for a blooming sheep. Is it sheep? It is. It is a sheep, because it says goat otherwise. Oh, he can be such an absolute noob. Oh, that's mildly satisfying. We are 47% through on this contract and 47% through on the other contracts for the cultivating. Wow. Honestly, I don't know how long this is going to take. I am half tempted to drag out the fast track as well. But then are they going to get in the way of each other because it's single track lanes? Am I going to be spending more time faffing around than actually sort of getting any benefit from it? Yeah, we'll see. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it here for this episode. I've rambled on enough. I apologise, but it's been different. We've got the wheat in the ground. We're getting some money in, and yeah, I'm gonna carry on. In fact, I may even start recording the next episode straight after this one. I shall see how I feel. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. Thank you all for the new subscribers. If you're still here and watching, thank you very much. It is appreciated. I know subs aren't everything, but to me, seeing that number increase really is great. So thank you for that. Big thanks to the YouTube channel members and the Patreons. Your support, as always, is incredible. Thank you. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Take care.